Today I want to show you a pretty advanced SP-404 Mark II looper workflow that in the right hands could be pretty powerful. Now I'm not sure if these are the right hands, we'll find out in a minute I guess. But let's shout out today's patron first, and that shout out goes to Mike Pounder. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So a couple years back, Roland actually added a looper to the SP-404 Mark II. If you don't know how to access it, you hold Shift and click in the main wheel. I'm already there, but that's how you switch between skip back sampling or looping. And to get to the looper, once you've enabled it, you simply hit mark. You can already hear the click going. And you get up to 4 measures, or I believe it's 16 seconds, and it can listen to either a mix of the internal sounds and the external sounds, or just the external sounds, which is pretty handy. We're going to be using internal sounds today, but we're going to exit the looper first by hitting mark. The samples I've got set up here are a kick drum, a snare, a hi-hat, and an open hat. And I also have them mapped to my drum pad here. It's just triggering them via MIDI. Now the workflow I'm going to show you actually involves seamlessly taking your loops from the looper and getting them to automatically play within the sequencer, which is interesting. It's a really interesting way of working, and I feel like with enough practice, someone could get really smooth with this. The reason I say it's advanced is because it actually requires sequencing sounds that haven't been recorded yet. See, the looper lets you seamlessly export loops from the looper as samples while the looper still plays, and with this workflow, we can actually pre-sequence them. So I'm going to keep it really simple in this one. We're going to hit pattern select. I don't have any pattern set up right now. I'm going to hit record. I'm going to pick slot number 1, doesn't really matter where. And I'm then going to make sure that I'm on TR rec by hitting remain until it says TR rec. There we go. Then I'm going to hit record. And as you can see, the pattern sequencer is now running. We have 2 bars here. We're in the first bar, second bar, back to the first bar. If I turn on the click, now you can hear it. So in this mode, in TR rec mode, you can hold subpad and select one of your samples to sequence. The idea here is that you'd sample or select your kick drum and then put it in here, you know, sequence it. It's TR style sequencing. It's pretty easy. We'll take that out. So now there's no samples in there. But with subpad, you can select a pad that does not have a sample on it. So I'm going to select pad number 1 here. Again, there's no sample on it. I'm going to put it right there on step 1 of measure 1, right? Super easy. I'm now going to hit exit, and I'm going to press pad number 1 to stop the pattern playback. So now we have a pattern that has a pad sequenced in it, but that pad has no sample on it. So now what we want to do is use the looper to play something in, have it start looping, and then seamlessly copy that loop to a pad. And then, since that pad is sequenced, it'll start playing. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so check this out. I'm actually going to start playing our pattern before we've started looping. I'm going to enable the metronome again so we can hear it. Now I'm going to hit mark. Now we're back to the looper, right? If I hit record, it's waiting for me to start playing. I'm going to hold shift, make sure that our mix is set to that our routing is set to mix, so it's also listening for internal sounds. I'm going to play something. Okay, now we're looping within the looper. I can hit rec to just stop it. The metronome's still going though because the pattern sequencer is still running. You following this? So if I hit mark to go back to the looper and hit rec, it's playing our pattern right now. I can actually copy this to a slot. Now it's trying to play our sample in slot number 1 and pad number 1 right here. So if I stop the looper, I stopped the looper, but we still hear this every time it comes around. That's because the pattern sequencer is trying to trigger this. However, it can't play it because gate is on. So if I hold enter, press 1, turn off gate. Now check this out. Again, we're not in the looper right now. If I go back to the looper and hit delete, it's empty. So I probably didn't do the best job explaining that because it is quite complicated, but let me try to do it in real time, not explaining it, and just see if I can pull it off. I'm honestly not quite sure if I can or not. Okay, I've still got the pattern set up with the no sample sequenced, right? So I'm good there. Okay, so I start the pattern playing. I go to mark. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Turn off gate. There we go. We're no longer in the looper. That's just my pattern playing. How cool is that? That's pretty sick. I'm just in a pattern. Okay, so as you can see, I was able to pull that off pretty easily, actually. It just took some attention to timing, and it definitely forces you to make sure that the pattern metronome and the looper metronome are synced up. I wish they would add that as an option. So Roland, if you're listening, let us sync up the looper to the pattern sequencer, please. That would be incredible. But yeah, it works. Sorry, you can probably hear my cat's litter box running in the background. So as you can see, I was able to actually pull that off somewhat easily. And this is me attempting this workflow literally maybe an hour and a half after discovering it. I'm sure that there are a bunch of little tips out there, as well as, little 404 isms, little idiosyncrasies that the device has that will make this smoother and slightly better. The one thing I really wish Roland would sync the looper and the pattern sequencer metronomes, or give us the option to do that. That would be incredible and would really make this workflow pretty easy. Right now it does take a little bit of timing skill to get close at least. Put this sample here on bus 2 and turn on the resonator and play us out. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Like I said, I just discovered it, but it is something I'd like to get better at. And because it works, with the looper, you can set the looper to take just external audio if you want. So you could have something going on the pattern sequencer there, and then use a MIDI controller to play another synth or, another drum machine or vocal effects, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of fun that could be had here. And there's probably some pretty advanced stuff that you could do. Especially because you get the opportunity to pre-sequence everything, so you could really do some impressive stuff and almost treat it like an on-the-fly style sampler, if that makes sense. SP-404 Mark II doing SP-404 Mark II stuff. Anyway, I do hope you found this one informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.